Oh, before I even get on with the tutorial, because I feel like I should say, because I write it in the description bar, but I have another channel, a second channel, and I'm posting reviews on there every single day. They are quick reviews. They are more about swatches and giving you the quickest information I can on the product, because it's a lot of time we buy online and we're buying blind. So I'm swatching the products that I really like to show you their consistency and vibrancy so that you can make a more informed decision. So I'd really appreciate it if you could have a look. There is a link on my main page and here in the description bar to my second channel. Thank you. Hey everyone, okay, so today is going to be on the, well, 5 very good products. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Makeup Atelier brush number 5. It's a tiny little eyelining brush that has a flat tip to it. And I'm going to zoom in for you so you can kind of see it closer up. Okay, so you can see the very kind of sharp, blunt edge on this. Now what this is good for is eyelining, but most importantly, it's really good for tight lining, which means if you haven't got a lot of eyelid space, I don't have a lot of eyelid space, and I'll zoom out and you can see in a minute, then this is the kind of brush you want, because otherwise with eyeliner, if you line your eyes sometimes with a standard brush and you don't have much eyelid space, you can just look like you've got black eyeshadow on. So let me zoom out, and I'm also going to show you another couple of things. Okay, here we are. Now, what I mean by that is that this is my eyelid. It's not very big. So if I put a colour on here, you'll be able to see it because you can see the lid. But if I was to use like a standard eyeliner brush and just draw a line straight across, the majority of this lid, this mobile lid here, will get covered, meaning it would look like I've got black eyeshadow on, which can really, especially when it is quite thick, can push the eye back and look very piggy and not very nice. So this is the kind of brush that you just push into the lash line with your gel eyeliner, your powder eyeliner, and it makes your lashes look incredibly thick and black, which is wonderful. But the other thing that this does, and I've done a video to show you how to do this, is you can do winged eyeliner with this. Because of this sharp, blunt edge, you can quite literally, you tilt your head to the side and you see the outside corner of your eye. Take this brush and go, that's it. And I think it's quite cool just to cock your head slightly to the side, because you're kind of exposing that outer corner more. There we go. And then take the brush and right on the edge, and you've got a little tiny flick. So the next product, well, next 2 products, but they're going to be lumped into one, are by 3 Custom Color. I've always been interested in these because I love refillable palettes. The fact that these eyeshadows, as you can see, are huge compared to, other eyeshadows by MAC or NARS, whatever. These are really big eyeshadows. You can pick your own ones and pop them in a palette. They've got little magnetic holes here, so you can pop them out and they just stick in. It's wonderful. But one of the great things about these is that they are so creamy. And even though I'd like to see more matte shades, these are kind of demi-matte, which means that they look nice on the majority of skin tones, unless you have an incredibly kind of crepey, very wrinkled lid, then it may not look great, but otherwise they work brilliantly. And because of the pigmentation, you know that you are going to get a true color reading. So it doesn't matter if you've got light skin or dark skin or whatever, you're going to get a decent color reading, which is always a good thing. The other thing by 3 Custom Color is I got this little tiny concealer foundation palette, because I didn't know if I was going to like all the foundations, and there's no point buying a load if I didn't like them. So I've got a tiny little palette here that you can kind of carry around with you. Great for a makeup artist. The wonderful thing about this is that, I don't know if I can even describe it, they are so creamy, and I mean ultra creamy, and I love cream eyeshadows. They can be used as concealer or as foundation. They work both in that kind of regard, but because of the creaminess of them, they just glide on the skin. Now, if you set them with powder and a puff in that rolling motion that I like, then don't worry, because they're not going to move anywhere, because this kind of seals everything in. But if you're a fan of cream eyeshadows, and the color range here is really good, because you've got kind of the very lightest working your way up, and the lightest is kind of more neutral in between yellow and pink, then you've got more of a yellow shade, and it blends well. And the darkest one, which is at the end here, just swatch this on the back of my hand, reads much darker than it actually looks in the pan. And the best thing about that color is this gorgeous golden red undertone, because with foundations for darker skin, they can run very ashy, very kind of a lot of yellow in them sometimes, and it just doesn't look that nice. So if you're interested in kind of looking for different cream foundations, then can't go far wrong. Okay, do you remember later last year I reviewed a product called Travelo? Now I got these sent to me because here in the UK we've got an exclusive kind of design, which is pretty cool, because in America you get all the good stuff, we don't. So Travelo is this tiny little holder that what you do is you fill up your perfume, your aftershave, whatever, and it fills it up so you can carry it around with you, so you don't have to lug around kind of like a really huge bottle of your fragrance. I've always admired people who, they never get flustered. They sort of say to them, have you got a pen? They've got a pen, and their bags are always really neat. And I've got this man bag, and I like to make sure that there's everything in there that I need, so that I don't get flustered. If somebody needs a pen, I've got a pen. If somebody, you know, and I've always admired that in people, and it's something that I kind of would like to achieve. So it's ideal for me that I can carry around fragrance in my bag, because you don't want to smell. So this is the new design. Now this was designed actually via feedback from customers. It has these kind of nodules on them which are for easy grip, so it's not easy to slip out. It also has a blunt edge now, which means it can stand perfectly alone, which is great. The other thing is it fits into a lipstick holder really, really well. So if you're a lady and you've got a lipstick holder, you can sort of pop it in here too, which is good. I'm actually going to show you how to fill them up. They come in a whole host of different colors as well. So I have got this silver one here. I've got a black one in my bag, which is filled with Tom Ford. The silver one here is filled with Laura Mercier creme brulee, because I really like it. So you can kind of pick up different colors and then, you know, fill them up with different fragrances and pop them in your bag. Let me show you how to fill it up. Okay, so here's how you use them, just in case. Here's your Travelo, and this is empty. What you want to do is get your fragrance and take the top off so that it exposes the kind of roots. Take your Travelo, which has this little tiny hole here. You push down and you keep pumping up and down until it releases product. And there you go. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the product in there. Once it's completely full, this will give you around about 65 sprays of perfume or aftershave, which is amazing. I think these deserve to really, really be popular. So popular, in fact, that you never know, I may come out with one. Who knows? Who knows? I'm going to talk to you about the MAC MAQ Pro palettes. And these are by MAC MAQ Pro in France. They are wax-based foundations. This palette is the Mandy-Gold one, and if I show you, it's more for sort of women of colour. This orange corrector here would be brilliant for under the eyes, around the lips, anywhere where there's blue or purple. Your foundation can go over it then, and you won't get any of that ashy residue. There's different colours, you get lots of different colours in these palettes. They are wax-based, which means when you use a Beauty Blender sponge or anything like this wet, they go on like a second skin. They cover beautifully. And they're one of the few foundations that when you powder over them, particularly, you know, like this, because I like it, look even more natural than they did when they first went on. Beautiful palette, and I cannot stress this enough. If you are very deep skin tone and you get ashiness and darkness and purple around the face, this is a wonderful color. And I'll show you the sort of lighter palette that I've got. This is not my favorite palette, but it's still a good one, by Goss. You've got this pink kind of peachy color here, which can work underneath the eyes to brighten. There's a yellow and a green. I'm never a fan of greens anyway, because foundation should be able to cover redness regardless. And you've got your kind of lighter foundation tones, as well as one to sort of contour with as well. These retail at £24.50 here in the UK. You get 6 foundations, and they are heaven. And they also, this palette contains 55 grams of foundation. Do you know how much that is? That is huge. And last, but certainly not least, is Lime Crime. And this is the Candy Eyed Eyeshadow Helper. This is 7 grams of product, and it is my number one holy grail eye primer. It makes the eyeshadows look more vibrant, which is great, but I think with correct eye prep, which is to remove all the oils from the eye first with like a non-fragrance baby wipe, maybe just once it's dry, a tiny coating of translucent powder. Apply this to the eye. Your eyeshadows are going to look so vibrant and they will stick. I would like to see this in a deeper skin tone, because This is very neutral, and while you're going to cover it with eyeshadows, if you're a lady of colour, it'd be much better to have one in a tan shade because it would just be nicer and more considerate. But it's a wonderful, wonderful product, so definitely worth checking out. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked some of these products, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.